Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome once again to NoDQ&A Video, the official Q&A video series of NoDQ.com. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you go on YouTube.com/NoDQCW and click the subscribe button. Almost at 30,000 subscribers, only about 100 away, so keep subscribing, keep spreading the word. Make sure you stay tuned to the entire video because I have a lot of topics here to cover, including the idea of a WWE versus TNA crossover event. Will it happen? Stay tuned. I'm going to talk about that towards the end of the video, so stay tuned. Let's start off here with Johnny Wag's question. Hey Aaron, love the show. Congrats on your 300 plus episodes and hopefully you will reach 1,000 episodes. Thank you for that. Is WWE devaluing The Miz by having him compete on the pay-per-view pre-shows? Please answer on video. Well, I think it's better that Miz is on a pre-show pay-per-view match than not on the event at all. So I look at it that way. At least he has a match on the show, even if it's not on the actual pay-per-view. So, I mean, he is getting a payday out of it. But yeah, it is definitely been a rough year for The Miz. He went from headlining WrestleMania 27. He was in the main event, WWE Champion, retained the title, and now he's in the pre-show matches. So it's pretty clear that WWE has given up on pushing The Miz as a top-level superstar. Right now they see him as a babyface mid-card act, and you know, I don't think that they're going to push him hard for the time being. I mean, maybe sometime down the line Miz will get another opportunity, but there's other guys that they're focusing on now, and you know, it's just unfortunate that the guy was WWE Champion and now he's in the pre-show. So I mean, that just sucks for The Miz, and you know, it just goes to show that WWE is not really sure who they want to push, and they push somebody, they give up on them, and you know, that's really unfortunate, because if you're going to put the WWE title on somebody, you should really put it on somebody you feel is the best in the business and the guy you're going to go all the way with for an extended period of time, not put it on a guy who you're not really sure about. So I mean, that was WWE's mistake right there. Alright, this one comes from C. Mister. Hey Aaron, what did you think about the AJ Styles angle on Impact? I thought it was good because I believed he was joining Aces and Eights up until the point where he didn't turn to the crowd with them. I thought it was good. Very happy to see him not join them. Well, I don't know if you watched mid to late 1990s WCW, because I've talked about this before. This whole AJ Styles angle is very much like the Crow Sting from late 90s WCW, where, you know, the NWO was trying to recruit Sting into the group, and, you know, Sting would attack the baby faces and you weren't sure which side he was on, and then finally he turned on the NWO and attacked them and made it clear he was on a mission to take out the NWO. And it's basically a carbon copy. TNA's doing the same thing. You know, Aces and Eights is the NWO. You know, it's Eric Bischoff's baby, his idea to have this heel NWO-like faction and have them be bikers, you know, because Eric Bischoff's a big motorcycle enthusiast. And, you know, AJ Styles now is gone to the dark side. He has the beard, much like Sting didn't talk and was dressed in all black. And now AJ Styles has made it clear he's not with Aces and Eights. He is on his own. He is alone. So, you know, it's been done before in WCW. Not really a big fan of it. I haven't been a fan of the Aces and Eights storyline, period. I think that TNA needs to drop it, and I think the ratings speak for themselves. When you look at the ratings, they're barely doing 1 million viewers now, and you know, they're doing 0.8, 0.9 ratings, and changing their time slot isn't going to help matters. But you know, when something's not working, you drop it, and I don't think Aces and Eights has been working at all. And I really feel TNA, you know, they feel that they're invested in the storyline, so they have to go through with it. But I really hope that TNA will end this faction sooner than later. But unfortunately, I think that they're going to stick with their plans, and we're at least going to see the Aces and Eights AJ Styles storyline play out through Bound for Glory, and maybe even after that. Alright, this one comes from DX, Are You Ready? Hey Aaron, what did you make of the DVD of The Ultimate Warrior done by WWE? In my opinion, the DVD was so disrespectful to one of the biggest names in wrestling history. Your thoughts? Well, first of all, there's two sides to every story. You know, there's a lot of people that have a negative opinion of the Ultimate Warrior, not just fans, but people in the business. They've spoke out about the Ultimate Warrior being unprofessional, and you know, some of these people might have a point about Ultimate Warrior, that he is unprofessional and that he should have been more of a team player over the years. But then again, you have to look at it from the Ultimate Warrior side. Maybe he was promised things by Vince McMahon that Vince didn't give to him, and maybe the Warrior was making more money for the company and not getting his fair share. So, I mean, there's really no way to know for sure. You know, it could just be two bulls butting heads, and that's what happened with the Ultimate Warrior in WWE, and, you know, neither side would give. The funny thing about this DVD is that originally it was supposed to just be a regular DVD of the Ultimate Warrior's career, and WWE contacted the Warrior about appearing for it, and he turned it down. And it was after that that WWE decided to turn it into a burial DVD. But, you know, there's two ways to look at it. Ultimate Warrior, on one hand, you could say that he was one of the biggest draws in WWE and, you know, one of the most memorable characters. And on the other hand, you could say he was one of the biggest jerks and a guy that was overrated and didn't deserve a spot and was a terrible wrestler. So, you know, there's lots of opinions about the Ultimate Warrior, but, you know, people are talking about him. And as Eric Bischoff said, controversy creates cash. All right, this one comes from CPW1978. Thanks for the reply on the Christian question in episode number 301. If Kurt Angle were to return, do you see him as a babyface or heel? You're talking about returning to WWE. He can put over so many, it's crazy. Punk and Angle, Dolph and Angle, Mania would rock with Cena Angle, as no one but Kurt could teach Cena some moves. Please answer in video. If Kurt Angle was to return to WWE, I think you would have to make him a babyface because he's going to come back as a legend, somebody who fans remember from the past, and he's going to get that big pop if he was to return, and I don't think you would be able to get fans to boo him. So I think it would be best to make him as the legend babyface coming back for one last run, and you know, that's just the natural way to go, I think. And certainly if CM Punk's a heel, you can do Angle versus Punk, and Dolph versus Angle would be a tremendous match. I mean, that would have a lot of potential right there, and you know, that could be a match that would put Dolph Ziggler on the map because, you know, he can be in there with a guy at his level, and the two of them could tear it up. So I'm certain that would be a classic. You know, Cena and Angle, it's been done already, and like I said, Kurt Angle is a babyface. You know, it would be interesting to see Kurt Angle come back and go for the streak. That is something I would like to see, and the fact that Angle actually beat Undertaker shortly before he left, I think it was No Way Out 2006, they could play up that, and you know, say that Kurt Angle actually beat the Undertaker. So, you know, I think that match would be really interesting, and I think Undertaker would enjoy working with Kurt Angle again, just because he knows that Angle would be able to bring out the best in him. So, you know, those are the matches I would do. Definitely Dolph and Angle, and CM Punk and Angle and Undertaker WrestleMania, if at all possible. But, you know, at this point, it doesn't look like Kurt's going anywhere, and, you know, it's unfortunate because I think that he's being wasted in TNA, although you know, TNA's been lucky to have him for all these years because he has certainly helped out the product a lot, I think. All right, this one comes from PushTed2112. Hey Aaron, long-time viewer, first-time asker. I'm a huge fan of Ted DiBiase Jr. and thought he would be huge back in the Legacy days. Have you heard anything of him lately, and do you believe WWE will ever give him a hard push in the future? I agree with you about Ted DiBiase during the Legacy days. I thought he was going to be a huge star. I remember going to a SmackDown live event. Actually, it was a SmackDown taping in 2009, and I was really impressed with him. I thought that he had a lot of potential, and you know, just bad booking by WWE really hurt his push and hurt his momentum. And you know, I don't think they know what to do with him at this point. I mean, he was on Superstars a couple weeks ago, beating the now Curtis Axel, then still Michael McGillicuddy. So that just goes to show you that WWE is really not really sure what to do with these guys. And, you know, I guess somebody just came up with an idea for Joe Henning to do the Curtis Axel gimmick. So, I mean, it's all a matter of figuring out what to do with Ted DiBiase, how to repackage him, how to bring him back, and give him a renewed push. Will it happen? You know, I think there's a decent chance that they'll give him another push at some point. You know, he has the bloodline. He's the third generation star, so I do see them giving him another shot at some point, but it's all a matter of finding the right gimmick for him. And certainly don't make him the $1 Million Man Jr. I mean, that was a terrible idea. Trying to make him like his father. Don't go in that direction. You got to make him different and make him stand out on his own. All right, this one comes from Brock and Punk 91. Hey Aaron, this is my first question ever. Please answer in video. We're getting a couple newbies here. How do you imagine Brock Lesnar if he never left the WWE? And more importantly, would John Cena still get the big push as the face of the company? Well, I think Brock Lesnar was really peaking right when he left. I thought some of Brock Lesnar's best work was right before the feud with Goldberg. The stuff he was doing with Steve Austin when Austin was the sheriff or whatever gimmick he was doing with the four-wheeler. I really was entertained by Brock Lesnar in those last couple months, and I thought he was so good as a heel. And, you know, the stuff with Eddie Guerrero he was doing. So I think Brock Lesnar would have definitely had some great years ahead of him if he had stayed in WWE. But, you know, he got burned out. And as far as John Cena, you know, Cena was on his way to being a huge star. It doesn't matter what was going on with Brock Lesnar. You know, John Cena won the match with Big Show at WrestleMania. WWE was starting to build John Cena up as a top babyface before Brock Lesnar left. So, you know, Lesnar being there or leaving didn't make any difference. I mean, John Cena was still going to get the huge push one way or another. All right, final question today comes from Kevin. Did you hear about Dixie Carter being open to a TNA versus WWE crossover? If so, what did you think about it? Well, considering the fact that I run a wrestling website, yes, I do know about Dixie Carter being open to a TNA versus WWE crossover. You know, she said she's open to the idea of doing a WWE and TNA, you know, crossover event where they both have both rosters are on the same show. Will it happen? I would say the chances are slim to none that we will ever see a Dixie Carter-owned TNA and WWE, Vince McMahon-owned WWE crossover event. Just not going to happen. I mean, the chances that it will happen, there's a better chance of Chris Benoit going into the WWE Hall of Fame, let's put it that way. WWE is not going to work with TNA. The only way we're ever going to see something like that is if WWE buys TNA. And even if WWE buys TNA, you know, I don't know if they see enough value in TNA to even bother doing a crossover event. I mean, WCW was, you know, at one point beating WWE, and WCW was a very well-known brand. And TNA, you know, they're doing barely 1 million viewers right now. So I don't know if WWE would feel it's even worth it, and it would even draw doing a cross-promotion event and making TNA its own separate entity. You know, if WWE ever bought TNA, they would probably just sign some of the talent and use the tape library, and that's it. You know, I really don't see them doing anything else much with it. So yeah, it's probably not going to happen. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. Keep spreading the word, and I will see you guys next time for more No DQ&A video.